Flies are a remarkably unpopular group of insects. Discussing them often invokes thoughts of a relentlessly buzzing, disease-ridden little monster, desperately launching itself towards your food as if possessed by gluttonous obsession. But not all flies should be painted with this brush. Today I'm going to make the case for one fly in particular, in the hopes that if we can accept the importance of one, we may be able to consider the importance of others. This is Tachina ursina, ursina meaning bear, which is due not to any ferocity that this fly displays, but actually refers to it being rather fluffy, so think teddy bear, not grizzly. Tachina ursina comes out in spring, typically being spotted March through April. You can identify this species by the pale lines upon its abdomen and the bristly black hairs at the end of each segment. These guys are often mistaken for bees or horseflies, but Ursina cannot bite or sting you. In fact, they'll do their very best to leave you alone, and despite being fairly closely related to houseflies, these creatures aren't going to hassle you for your lunch. You only need to fear them if you happen to be a caterpillar. In which case, well done understanding all of this. You see, the Tachina ursina is actually a parasitoid fly, though often called a parasitic fly, and to understand this, we'll need to explain the difference between these two terms. So, parasitic and parasitoid creatures both feed off of other living organisms to survive. But parasitic creatures, such as fleas, ticks, tapeworms, or leeches, do not typically cause the death of their host. Whereas parasitoid creatures, such as parasitoid flies and parasitoid wasps, will cause the death of their host by feeding off of them. So to put it basically, parasitic uses its host, but tends not to kill it, whereas parasitoid uses its host and almost certainly kills it. So back to Tachina ursina specifically. These flies parasitize caterpillars, laying their eggs onto a caterpillar, which then hatch and burrow their way inside. The larvae eat the caterpillars from the inside out, eventually metamorphosizing into their adult form and killing the caterpillar. They then fly off to drink nectar, mate, and restart the cycle with a new caterpillar. Now, I'm aware that this sounds pretty horrific, but it's important to note that without parasitoid flies like this, and other pest control species like parasitoid wasps, we would be overrun by caterpillars in no time, and the caterpillar apocalypse is one of ecological devastation and human starvation. We've seen before what happens when you eliminate predators from an ecosystem, the effects often including mass ecological destruction of plant life and rapidly increasing disease amongst the prey species. These cute little flies not only pose no threat to humans, they are the watchers on the wall, protecting a largely unknowing human civilization from the long dark of a looming caterpillar-shaped doomsday. So the next time you see a fly, don't immediately assume that it wants your food. After all, it may very well be responsible for that food existing. I should probably just add that I really like caterpillars as well. This video may have seemed a little too anti-caterpillar. They're also an important part of the ecosystem, but we always need to respect the balance that nature creates by valuing the predatory species that keep their numbers under control, no matter how creepy people find them.